windshield wipers in the thing are kind of mesmerizing. Tyler's gonna put a roll pin in my clevis. I didn't have any.
Can you grab me a pair of side cuts too? Well, I might have it.
Not gonna have a very good angle to hit on that.
Well, it doesn't help that it's at an angle.
I did it.
Oh. Yeah, it's good enough. It's through. Next time, don't put a brace in the way.
Just went through and finished my pre-trip inspection on here. I went ahead and adjusted all my slack adjusters, front and rear. I pulled up on a couple of boards to be able to do that. Just fired her up, checked for leaks. Everything looks real good. So we're gonna head to Tennessee tonight. Well, we'll get about halfway there. We're gonna probably go to southern Indiana, Evansville area, and then we'll see how far we get. We don't need to be in Tennessee until late morning tomorrow, so we're not gonna make it all the way. But freshwater tanks are full. Everything is ready to go for about a 6-week trip on the bus. It's about 5:45. We're getting ready to head out. First destination is going to be Tennessee, which we're making about halfway tonight. And it looks like we're going to be driving into rain in about 20 minutes or so, if I look at what I looked at here. So, this will be fun. I just put Rain-X on the windshield, go from there. Onan generator is not wanting to run. It rains the whole way here, and everything's pretty damp and wet on there, so I'm not sure. It's like it'll run, but when I let off the start button, it'll kill it. Just before sunup here, we've already got about 50 miles in today. I'm still having trouble with that generator. I can't get it to run. Too dark and cold and wet to even mess with it. The oil level's fine in it. It's got fuel. It was shut off the last time. It didn't die. I really think it has something to do with the water from this rain. Although I've never had a problem with it before the rain. Lenny was just on Highway 41, which is something he's done thousands of times when he used to run from Miami to Chicago. Doing real good. It is pretty horsey. So we're at a campground in Dixon, Tennessee. Next to a Winnebago. Since we don't have a generator, we can't really boondock for a few days like we were planned on doing. So it finally stopped raining, but it's not. It is still raining. It's misting right now. Tomorrow's gonna be really cold, so probably the next day, then I'll get in here and see if I can pull a spark plug out and see what's going on. It just doesn't want to run. At first, it kind of wanted to run while you were holding down the button, but now it's not even really firing. I took the bus off-roading today at the new property. Maybe I'll post a picture of it, but I ended up when I was leaving, I hit the generator muffler on a pothole on the ground there, and it actually knocked it off. Didn't break anything, it just knocked it off. The wheel seal looks like it's not leaking a drop. That's good. Lenny did great on the trip down here today. There's the muffler that I knocked off. Kelly heard it dragging. I heard a noise. I didn't realize what it was at first. But doesn't seem to be damaged at all. It just got knocked off. Luckily we didn't lose it because that's like $150. But this was post generator not working. Well, it's pouring down rain again. That kind of trip. Kelly got to use her new convection microwave oven today. She loved it. It was very quiet. I do need to mount it, because right now it is a projectile in the bus. So we had a pretty good day today, other than the generator issue that popped up last night, and it's pouring down rain again. Like I said, maybe Sunday I'll be able to get out there and take a look at it. But we're at a campground now for the next few days. We came down to the property in Tennessee. We had a meeting with the soil guy, company that's doing all the testing to make sure that the new property will perk for the septic. And he got they stick a pole in the ground everywhere where the septic field needs to go. And it wouldn't go down to 3 feet everywhere. He got several holes where it would. And just the structure that I know of the soil that's out there, I'm going to say he was probably hitting some rock, softball size or something like that, rock in the ground. But they need to be able to confirm all that. So we have to pay some more money to have a guy come out with a backhoe and do some test dig holes just to make sure. And he was, he's like, most likely it's going to perk, but we just have to, go the extra little bit further to make sure that it does. So that's going to be later next week. We won't be here for it. Our realtor will go there when they do that. We have one more meeting on the property again on Monday, and that is with the engineer from the power company to go over hooking up to the electrical grid, what's involved in that, and costs, and where the best place to come in and that kind of stuff is. So anyways, we're excited about the property. I took Lenny on the property today, and it's pretty rocky ground, which is great because we don't have to worry about getting stuck in mud or anything like that. So he like gravel based soil kind of stuff down there. He did real good on that. The only problem that I have is there's a lot of ruts and holes and things like that I cannot take Lenny back out on the property again until after that gets graded. He didn't like getting stuck in those holes. Some of them were pretty deep, like 6 inches down, stuff like that. And he would roll over them, but I don't have a lot of ground clearance with my muffler in the back which was the one I had Kelly out watching for. The engine muffler, and wasn't paying attention to that generator muffler, which again, it sits about 6 inches off the ground. So if the tire's down in a 4 or 5 inch hole in the front, and then it's a tire in the middle, I think it just kind of centered on there a little bit. Found out a lot of roads that I don't want to go down to, and that I don't want to drive the bus down in the area. We came in a different way today than we normally did. There's another road about 2 miles further out of the way that I should take because it's a lot. I have never been wiped out driving the manual steering bus before, except for today on a road that I went on that was so curvy and hilly, and it had like NASCAR banking on the curves, and I couldn't go over like 20 miles an hour on them, and just ate me up as far as arm muscles and everything like that, back and forth, left and right. And it was a rough road. And then we ended up on another road, couldn't make a turn somewhere, so I took the next one and barely made that turn, and it ended up being like a country road that turned into gravel. I knew it was a bad sign. And then all of a sudden I see a hill that goes up maybe 50 feet in the air, and at the very top of this super steep hill is a stop sign, and we got to turn left at the stop sign, which is it's a T to a highway. And there's like no way for me to stop at that stop sign and get going again. That's how steep the hill was. So Kelly got out and made sure that nobody was coming either way when I started my approach on it, and then I slowed down and went through the stop. But if I would have come to a complete stop on that, if there would have been traffic coming, I would have had to roll back down and reverse all the way down that hill. So I know not to ever go down that road again. I definitely used up some clutch today on that property and some of those ruts and holes that were out there. Just got a little too anxious, I think, to go out and try it, and I really wanted to take them even further into the property, but it had been raining for days here, so that was a really good test of the soil structure, though, that I didn't have to worry about, getting stuck in anything. There's no mud holes or anything like that, but just the natural erosion of some water and stuff like that has created some little trenches and some kind of potholes and stuff like that it's not ready for a bus yet. But I got them turned around, got them out of there, got on the road. We're at the campground here. We're in, like I said, we're in Dixon. I think we're about 20 miles from the property, something like that. And we'll be here for a couple days until Monday, and then we're going to head out to Arkansas, and then from Arkansas to Texas, and we got lots of buses to work on. Hopefully I'll get my generator issue fixed. Don't really have it in the budget right now to buy a new generator. I'm sure it's something kind of simple. I don't know those onans very well. So, the first thing I can do is check for spark on it. But it backfires every once in a while and sputters, so I don't think that spark is really the issue, but I want to see what it's doing. So spark, fuel, maybe the fuel pump's not pushing fuel through. I don't know. It's just everything's wet too. At first I thought it was just kind of grounding out something like the shutdown or something. But when I went to demo it last night for you, it didn't run at all. It didn't fire at all. So I'm not really sure. But it is full of oil. The fuel is full on it, on the tank. I actually put another like 10 gallons in that fuel tank today just to make sure the fuel wasn't an issue. But yeah, it's not fuel. It's not oil. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a gas engine expert, but I know enough about them to, obviously I'm going to look for spark, and then make sure the fuel pump is working on there too. I could try it on some starting fluid and make sure that it's going to fire on that as well. That should kind of be a little test if it's something else that's going on. So anyways, I'm going to get to know that onan a little bit better than I probably wanted to. But it's been a real good thing. I haven't really had many problems with it. I think it'll be okay. And we'll have another video in a couple of days. Probably when we get to Arkansas, maybe. Thank you.